Hello, it is March 10th, 2008, and I'm going to talk about Dianetics. A lot of people think that Scientology and Dianetics are two totally different things, but Scientology uses Dianetics since the 50s. Of course, that's when Dianetics came out, to recruit people into Scientology when L. Ron Psycho Hubbard made a Church of Scientology and converted Dianetics into Scientology. They used Dianetics to recruit people and trick people as a front group to get people into Scientology. So I want to make that very clear. Dianetics is Scientology. L. Ron Hubbard made Dianetics. L. Ron Hubbard made Scientology. So don't get the two confused. It's a front group. It is made for a reason to basically trick people into thinking they're two different things and to slowly brainwash you, so then hopefully you'll become a Scientologist. They want to sell those Dianetics books at their stress test and that kind of stuff. So get the two really clear, everybody. That's a front group for Scientology. Dianetics is Scientology with a little volcano and all that crap. It's just Scientology. It's a little trick. Now, L. Ron Hubbard looked up to a man named Aleister Crowley. Aleister Crowley was known as the Beast, 666. He also was into this mysteriously weird magic crap, which they promised, Aleister Crowley promised how people would get these weird powers, such as having telekinesis, being able to pick up thoughts, communicate telepathically, all that kind of weird stuff. Exact stuff that L. Ron Hubbard claims you're going to get on the OT levels. Well, Aleister Crowley called it OTO up to number 8. Well, L. Ron Hubbard has OT, and that only releases up to number 8 as of right now. See the similarity? It's very, very close. The other similarity that L. Ron Hubbard had with Aleister Crowley was Aleister Crowley used to beat his wife. He was a drunk. He used to beat his wife. He used to take a lot of drugs and stuff. Well, from what L. Ron Hubbard Jr. and other people have researched and found out, L. Ron Hubbard was a wife beater. He was a liar. He was a compulsive liar. He took many drugs. He was a complete alcoholic. And there you go. So they had a lot in common. L. Ron Hubbard followed Aleister Crowley, copied many things of Aleister Crowley, waited until Aleister Crowley died, and then made all his crazy Scientology stuff and just pretty much followed the path of Aleister Crowley. He even admits that Aleister Crowley is a good friend of his and one of the tapes. So that wasn't a very smart move on L. Ron Hitler's side there. You know, he wasn't thinking. He's probably on whiskey and, you know, whatever else he used to drink, but that's alright. L. Ron Hubbard also had 3 wives. He says he only had 2, but mysteriously his first wife so-called died. I wonder what really happened there, huh? She probably so-called committed suicide. Anyways, so there you go with a little bit of information on L. Ron Hubbard. But we got OSA now. OSA is the only reason why Scientology still exists. The Office of Special Affairs. They're the dirty trick department. And Mike Rinder is the big boss of that. But unfortunately for Scientology, Mike Rinder blew. He left. There's a pretty good reason behind that, I'm sure. And Mike Rinder is in hiding right now. So OSA lost on that. Jeff Kuros is the top OSA guy for, you know, the San Francisco area. You have a lady named Darlene Bright for the San Jose area, and for Mountain View you have a guy named Mark Wortlicker. Okay, they're all cowards in my opinion. Darlene Bright isn't very bright. She's very slow, obviously. You got Jeff Kuros. Well, Jeff, you know, he taught me to fair game people. Trick, soothe, lie to, or destroy. Never attack, never defend, always attack. That was one of the big policies. You never defend, always attack. That was something I always learned. You know, and to sue people, we didn't sue people so we can win. We sued just so we can harass them. If we can ruin them utterly, that was the goal. So there's numerous policies about, you know, OSA and their dirty tricks and how they do things, and, you know, TRLs, when you completely lie to somebody convincingly, like I used to do to the police officers. Jeff taught me how to do that. Jeff also told me that the GO, the Guardian's Office, is no different than OSA, Office of Special Affairs, just renamed, and OSA is a little bit smarter with things. That's what he told me. It's not what you know, it's who you know. And under oath doesn't mean shit. That's what Jeff always used to tell me. He used to show me policies that L. Ron Hubbard would write, talking clearly about a suppressive group, and a suppressive group was clearly any government agencies, anybody that had to do with the government, like the police officers, the firemen, any of that kind of stuff, was government agencies. Any kind of IRS, anything like that is just completely suppressive, and a suppressive group has no right of any kind, period. That's the end of the story. They can be tricked, sued, lied to, or destroyed. And so it made it very clear that the police officers were in a suppressive group. They are completely suppressive, they're evil, and we should do whatever we have to do to them. They would always tell me the greatest good for the greatest number of dynamics. He would give a good example of somebody that was going to murder a baby. Well, what are we going to do? Just watch? Or are we going to take care of the situation? He would tell me, Tommy, there's a difference between murdering and killing. When you kill somebody, that's like you getting rid of a child molester or someone who's abusing a child who's going to kill your family and everybody. You have to kill them. That's not a bad thing. But murdering is when you like murder a Scientologist. But now a psychiatrist, if a psychiatrist was killed, well, there you go. You probably did a good thing. So he would talk about these kind of different things and show me different policies and stuff. And his main thing he would go off of was fair game. And it was pretty interesting at the time. I thought I was doing the right thing, but you know, OSA is very slimy. They're cowards. They will make dirt up against you if they don't have dirt on you. They have policy on that. If there's something that they don't have on you, your overage or withholds, and they can't find your crimes, they make something up. The other thing is, you know, anybody that goes against or thinks critically or opposes Scientology, they're automatically either a child molester, a murderer, a rapist, a pervert, a criminal. This is what Scientology believes. But again, if they don't have those crimes on them, well, you just make them up. It's very simple. So there you go. They go around and slander people. They use private investigators to slander people. A man named Eugene Ingram, who personally slandered my name and my wife, Jennifer Gorman, and he's a coward. He works for Scientology. So everybody get the facts straight here. Scientology is a cult. They abuse people, and I'm telling the true harms of Scientology. I will see you all on March 15th, 2008 in front of the San Francisco org. You wonder why they call it an org, because it sounds more like a morgue, and you know, it make more sense because the whole Lisa McPherson thing and the people that don't take their psychiatric medication because, you know, they're not allowed to, and then they end up slaughtering their parents and killing them. The lady that just did that in another country, and Jeremy Perkins in 2004 that did the same thing to his parents and to his mother especially. Actually, that was an OT4. Funny thing though is L. Ron Hubbard died with psych drugs in his bloodstream, visceral, and you know, they don't believe in psychiatric medication because it makes you an illegal PC supposedly, which means you can't do Scientology auditing, which means you can't go free, which means you can't give them all your money anymore, and they can't free you supposedly and give you these abilities. Well, L. Ron Hubbard was a psychiatric person in a ward, according to his son, after he got out of the military, so he was an illegal PC. Have a good night, everybody, and I want to make sure everybody gets something really clear. Dianetics is Scientology. Don't get the two confused. They are one, and that's a fact. So is these other front groups, such as Narcanon, and a couple other names that I'll mention later on. Alright, people, have a good night, and I will see you guys all soon. Stay happy, and if you see any weird, crappy Scientology threats from OSA or whatever, call the cops on them. And let's see if these OSA boys come by my house anytime soon. I hope they do, because it makes my life easy, it makes me smile, and it shows how stupid they really are. Have a good night. See you later. This is Tommy Gorman talking about OSA, Scientology, and L. Ron Hitler. See you later.